representative of Kashmiri Freedom Movement, Jammu Kashmir Liberation League, Jammu Kashmir People National Party, Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front, asked the Honourable Members of Parliament to write a letter to the Foreign Secretary UK to veto India's bid for a permanent seat at the UN Security Council. In addition to this proposal, Zafar Khan presented a resolution that other governments of the state of Jammu and Kashmir should be given observer status in the United Nations General Assembly. Both proposals were unanimously adopted. And so these proposals have been laid before us for decision by this meeting. I don't know whether you'd like to whether anybody would like to comment on them before we push them to the vote.
I feel Eric, these have been by the way adopted at another meeting in Brussels, I understand. And I think colleagues have sent this to Professor Shaw for this meeting to consider. I think in principle I don't have any problems, but I would say that the resolution by Sardar Aftab Khan about Azad Kashmir government, it's a very good, I think it's important that Azad Kashmir government is recognized. By getting observer status in the United Nations General Assembly, that would be recognition. But I would like to say that Azad Kashmir government or the institution of the Assembly and its governance has to reflect democratic principles on the ground. So if we could add something like that, for example, the election to Azad Kashmir Assembly should be open to all political opinions in Azad Kashmir. And if we could add that as a kind of rejoinder, because I think truly, when I was saying at the meeting that Professor Shaw organized to the Prime Minister of Azad Kashmir, that I had no problem as a Kashmiri for him to represent us anywhere in the world, providing he reflected the consensus of Kashmiri political politics, and that we don't have a single leader in Azad Kashmir or Indian occupied Kashmir or within the Kashmiri movement. We have some leaders, some very important leaders, and therefore as a collective leadership, that is the context that I was referring to, him becoming a spokesman. For that matter, Mir Wai could become a spokesman, or Gilani Sahab, or Amarullah Khan, if they so deem, if everybody around the table so deem. Now this is an interesting, of course, an offer, but I think Azad Kashmir in the first instance needs to reflect in its governance democratic principles. But of course, Azad Kashmir has to, as an entity, has to be recognized. And being recognized by the UN's General Assembly is an important, would be an important step forward. But of course, Pakistan government also needs to recognize it as a truly independent entity. And I give the example of Kosovo. If the European Union, or most of, overwhelming majority of European Union, recognizes the right of the Kosovars to declare their independence, then I think government of Pakistan as backer and friend and supporter, and indeed people of Pakistan are our supporters. We would like the government to also to recognize the government of Azad Kashmir as a true and representative and legitimate interim government of the people of Jammu and Kashmir as a whole. So as a principle, it's an important thing to demand here. And I would say yes, Sardar Aftab's resolution is fine, but one would much rather have a democratic Azad Kashmir being given observer status